pleasant day to everyone. I am Jo Briones. I am part of the DOST-Advanced Science and Technology Institute, and I will be your moderator for the day. To our stakeholders, partners, and friends from the media, welcome. SAR with AIS is a project under the DOST-Advanced Science and Technology Institute, or the DOST-ASTI, aimed to promote SAR and AIS technology as a viable tool for maritime and terrestrial monitoring. To formally open this event, let us all welcome our speaker for the opening remarks. She is currently the Undersecretary for Research and Development of the Department of Science and Technology, DOST. She is seconded from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, where she is Professor 12 at the Electrical and Electronics Engineering Institute, or EEI, specializing in speech and audio signal processing, time frequency analysis and synthesis, and artificial intelligence. As Undersecretary for R&D, she supervises the 3 DOST sectoral councils, the 7 DOST Research and Development Institutes, the National Research Council of the Philippines, and the Technology Application and Promotion Institute. Further, she oversees the management of the DOST R&D funds, bilateral and multilateral linkages, and the DOST Special Projects Division, which provides technical and administrative support to DOST in the management of DOST Grants and Aid program. She also leads the DOST Science for Change program. Prior to her appointment as Undersecretary, she served as the Executive Director of DOST Pictured from July 2012 to 2015. She was the youngest and the first female dean of the UP College of Engineering and was the Executive Director of the UP National Engineering Center from 2004 to 2010. She received her BSEE and MSE degrees from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and her PhD EE degree from the University of Michigan. She has been the recipient of several awards in engineering and education, including the 2010 Metrobank Outstanding Teachers of the Philippines. Please welcome Dr. Rowena Cristina L. Guevara.
Our friends in media, Ms. Joanne Sihuko, our DOST-ASTI OIC, Mr. Alvin Retamar, Mr. Roel M. de la Cruz, Mr. Harold Brian Palur, Mr. Frank Rayo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the virtual presser on Bantay ng Yamang Lupa at Karagatan Mula sa Kalawakan. It is with great honor that I welcome you all as we share with you some new developments in our initiatives on space technology, specifically on its role in local terrestrial monitoring and maritime surveillance. Thank you everyone for attending this virtual webinar. I hope that everyone is safe and doing well. We at the Department of Science and Technology have been constantly working to keep up with the times and modern innovations disrupting the global scene. Especially now that we are in the middle of a global pandemic, our work in the field of research and development is proving to be more challenging and fast-paced. Not just in the medical field, but also in disaster management and environmental monitoring, among many other sectors. Last week, we celebrated World Space Week through a series of webinars and virtual events led by the newly formed Philippine Space Agency, or PhilSA, together with the Department of Science and Technology, Advanced Science Technology Institute, and other partner institutions. We aim to extend the celebration through this virtual event by telling you more about SAR with AIS project. Over the past years, our researchers at DOST-ASTI have been working with our international partners from the Surrey Satellite Technology Limited, or SSTL, in the United Kingdom to make this project come to life. This project has made it possible for us to be equipped with the services and technology of the NovaSAR satellite, a small synthetic aperture radar, or SAR, satellite with automatic identification system receiver, or AIS. That's why we call it SAR AIS. Why is this important to all Filipinos? Because of SAR with AIS, we are now able to receive information from all-day and all-weather capture, simultaneous chip detection, flood mapping, and structural identification, thanks to the data gathered for us by the NovaSAR SAR-1. The DOST-ASTI's Pedro Center can now beef up their data set when combined with information gathered from Philippine microsatellite Diwata-2, as well as other open source and commercial satellites available to us. To put it simply, this project opens more doors to us in terms of disaster management and environmental monitoring, as well as agricultural monitoring, to name some of the specialties of the NovaSAR-1. One of the things that we are always asked at DOST is the amount of money that is being poured into programs such as the one we have today. This is a very expensive project, but the returns are so much more than the inputs. Let me give you some example of how we evaluate R&D proposals at DOST. We have the 6Ps: publication, people trained, product, patent, policy, and even partnerships. But we have 2 Is, which is social impact and economic impact. When we computed the amount of funds that we have used for our Space Science and Technology Application Program at DOST in the last 8 years, the amount totaled to more than 7 billion pesos. Now you ask, 7 billion, that's a lot of money. But the returns, first, economically, you know that when we asked a private company to compute the returns to the country in terms of provision of maps, meaning to say, instead of us buying maps from other providers, the maps are being provided by ASTI through Pedro and through Datos. And what they computed was that each year, the amount of money saved by the Philippines because of the data coming from ASTI is roughly 7 billion per year. So when you compare it with the amount of money that we have invested, the returns is so much more. But when it comes to saving lives because of the data available from our satellite subscription and Diwata-2, and of course, this time with NovaSAR, there is no value for life. So my point here is saying that today you will see NovaSAR-1, you will see the benefits that it has for the Filipinos. But beyond the investment we made, kindly emphasize the returns to our country. Our webinar today will be led by some of DOST-ASTI's researchers and project leaders who will be telling us more about each aspect of the project. Hopefully, this information will encourage everyone to be interested and be able to appreciate local space technology and research and what it can do for each of us. Magandang agham sa inyong lahat.
Thank you very much, Undersecretary Guevara. DOST-ASTI is always grateful for the support and the oversight that your office gives us.